For having us here. Basically, the topic is Generation Next because we believe that it's a young, globally there is a young generation coming up, and especially in this part of the Middle East, and we believe that that we have to cope with the new ways of doing things and being innovative and going forward in Egypt specifically. So I'll just give you an overview about Egypt. We have a 100 million population, 51 males and 49 are females. Our growth in population is 1.87. It used to be more than that. Our GDP is 2,500, so we're relatively a poor country in a way. But our spending is around $62 billion. And how are we spending that? We'll go for that later. Our literacy rate is 20%, inflation is 13%, and unemployment is 11.8. How do we spend our money? We like food. So people really, I mean, 54% of the spendings are on food. So that gives us a very good opportunity as FMCG companies to provide what's needed. To get the best quality product, especially in dairy. So, how much are people spending on dairy? They're spending 15% of their spendings on dairy, and you'll find some meat, poultry, a lot of other stuff. So, if you look at the Egyptian market, when it comes to dairy, we're talking about 470,000 tons. Packed milk is 270, and white cheese is 200,000. Actually, we have a say in Egypt that we eat milk, we don't drink it. You know, people love to eat cheese, especially white cheese. It's a favorite dish in I would call it breakfast and dinner, and people consume a lot of cheese. The value is $500 million. Packed milk and 220 and 280 actually when it comes to white cheese. We have, of course, a lot of unpacked milk and unpacked cheese, which we call the loose business, and this is a business that nobody can track. That's mainly available in the provinces of Egypt and around the Delta part and the Upper Egypt part, where people are extremely poor and they have to do their own cheese. So what? Domty. Domty is a family-owned business, started in 1990. We have 34% of the white cheese business in Egypt. We are actually the world's largest, biggest cheese producer in Tetra Pak for the past 3 years. We've been working with Tetra Pak for the past 10 years now, and we have a long shelf life business with them when it comes to cheese. It's around 6 months a year. It's mainly a mix between, I would call it vegetable oil and 100% fat milk. That's because of the price sensitivity of the market. If we look at our consumers, we have 3 kinds of consumers that we're looking at. We're looking at the Generation X, which born in the 60s, and the millennials, of course, which are our core, and Generation Z, which we call them the grassroots, where we try to focus on them and try to integrate the cheese into their white cheese into their dairy habits, because the new generation in Egypt, they don't like cheese. They don't like white cheese specifically. They like hard cheese, they like processed cheese, but no white cheese. So we try our best to really induce the culture of white cheese where it used to be before in the Egyptian market. Still, people tend to use cheese in different ways, like with tomatoes, with cucumbers, sometimes with watermelon. But still, we're facing some challenges the past 2 years due to the inflation that happened and due to the devaluation of the dollar. So everything, the whole price is increased. So that's why we're trying as much as possible to introduce new products that are affordable and taste good and healthy, of course. This is how cheese looked before. And this is, in 2007, we introduced the Tetra Pak, which were packed cheese. This was loose cheese. Of course, it was extremely unhealthy. Yet people, because of the fact that they can't afford to buy anything and nothing was available back then, so we made this aseptic cheese, which actually, oops, what happened? Which actually, I mean, it was a revolution in Egypt back then to pack a cheese and take it home with you, or take it when you're traveling. And this is ambient, by the way. And then in 2014, we introduced the Domty Plus, which is more milk, just to highlight the importance of milk, and especially for the young generation, to give them this healthy aspect that they're looking for. And then this was the cream cheese that we changed that to this, just to look at more hip, more modern, and try to attract still the young generation that were going to Philadelphia and products from that sense. This was the cottage cheese. It's always been like that, and actually within the next few days we'll be launching this, which is a cottage cheese packed and sealed, and of course you can have it in different sizes and different, you can, of course, we have recipes to how to use it and stuff like that, but people still are buying this loose cheese to the fact that they believe it's homemade, it's made by the mamas, but we're trying to look at the healthy part and trying to make sure that everybody gets the best out of cheese. So what's next for us? Since the young generation were not really, they feel that cheese is very boring, white cheese is very boring, and they're not really into it, and the market is actually declining by 10% for the past couple of years. So we have decided to go for the next big thing for us, is to actually enter this. We made a baking line, we introduced the sandwich. This is called Domty sandwich, which is a sandwich that has all kinds of cheeses, plus a couple of more sweet sandwiches, which is a chocolate and a jam. And actually, the product, we are baking our own bread and injecting the cheese inside. Of course, it's full of cheese. That's why the consumer like it. Second, all the snacks or the available croissant or pâté that's available in the market on the go is, you don't know what you're eating inside. That you don't know the kind of cheese you're eating inside, or the quality that you are actually consuming. So for us, it was a win-win to add our cheese inside, and you can trust, to help the mothers give the sandwich to the kids in the morning, and of course all the workers and all the students in college, and everybody, even blue collars can use it for lunch. Actually, this is a fresh product. This is our first fresh product that we introduced, and it's only lasts for 6 days. And this has been only launched for a month, and it's actually doing quite well. And the first initial perception is extremely, extremely positive. And another thing that we are adding the packs where you can actually, if you like the cheese inside, you can go and buy it. So that's another thing too. Next, what we did is that we made a platform which is called Akla Ahla, which is a recipe, something a la BuzzFeed or a la, Tasty, which is a forum where you do your recipes, and we do recipes for people that people send to us, and actually we do our own that's integrated within the dairy products that we have, plus other products that's just normal things, just to attract the new consumers and build loyalty, and it's all powered by Domty, of course. I hope I can. It started 2016. It was the first actually hub for recipes in Egypt. Now we have 2.2 million followers. I hope the video plays. That's the video, actually. That's the video we did. So going forward, what we believe is that innovation, innovation, innovation. This is the only way we go forward, and this is the only way we believe the world is coming. I mean, if you don't innovate and you keep on, integrating new stuff and producing new stuff and trying to meet the consumer needs, there's no way you can survive in this very competitive marketplace. Thank you.